Hi, people. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so we started this thing yesterday, marking and celebrating our nurses as heroes. Yes, I just went on the live on Instagram, so we are back here. Alrighty. So today I have an amazing, amazing, amazing person. But before we go there, I would like to share with you guys. I know people see the scrubs, but they don't always see the person wearing the scrub. Okay, nursing is a profession, but it should not erase our identities, our dreams, our feminism, our motherhood, leadership, or personal goals. And that's why this week we are touching on those parts as we celebrate those huge, I always tell people, it's a very huge profession. Okay, because we carry the weight of all the lives that we meet every
Mhm.
single day, and we still have to remain sane for not just ourselves, our family, and people around us. Okay, and today I am not alone. As you guys know, I bring you guys amazing nurses. But please, if you are joining us live, do let us know where you're joining from so that we can know how global we are. If you have any questions, feel free to put it on the comment section. And if you're enjoying the conversation at any point, drop your comments, drop your concern, and also congratulate us because it's not easy to wear the hats and still, be seen. Okay, by the way, my name is Sonia. I'm a child of God. I'm a mom of three adorable kids. I'm a registered nurse, and I always share my story to say I juggled career from early childhood educator to nursing, okay, with the heart to help, to care, and to cater for people, being everly present. But there comes a point in your life where you need to take a step back and assess your mental health as a nurse. We do reassess ourselves. We evaluate to see what the outcome of what we are doing is, okay, and plan the care. And I decided to choose me at some point, not living nursing fully, but strategizing and doing something on the side to make this scene for me. So I'm not going to bore you with intro of myself. Today I call her Essay Essentials. You have all the whole package in between, okay? She's the best person to talk about being more than just a nurse, okay? Because we wear the heart of a lot of things going on. So I'm going to move into my essay. Tell us about yourself.
Are we on now?
We are live, girl.
Okay, guys, this is the first time I'm going to be on Sonia's live, so it is an honor. I was the sleep that was catching me. I said I cannot afford to sleep. I have to be here to talk to you guys today. So for nurses, I'm a nurse. My name is Asay. I have two kids. I have a 15-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl. And I did my nursing school in Canada. So you guys that did yours here, you know what I went through. I had three jobs juggling this life of being a nurse. I had three jobs while I was going to nursing school, and I had two little kids. So you guys understand, I kind of relate. I understand how it is, how we're trying to get a better life for our kids, but at the end of the day, we end up like missing ourselves because we put everybody first, right? So let me not go and start saying too many stories, but I'll wait for Sonia to cue us into what she wants us to say. But I can relate. I'm a nurse like you. I'm a travel nurse. I work in two countries, by the way, but that's story for another time. We'll wait for Sonia to say what she needs to say, and then we'll
Yes,
get.
so we're going
get
to go to
get to it.
nurses as mothers. In a lot of times, I've had a lot of nurses say before, sometimes before they go to work or even come back, they have this moment where they take a step to kind of decompress, debrief themselves in
Mhm.
the car to just put down the emotions of what they've been through during the day so they don't carry those emotions to the house. Okay.
Yes.
Now, touch more of that area where you have to be intentionally present as a nurse and intentionally present as a mom, and how you transition from this workplace mommy nurse to mommy at home.
You know what? I would not lie. It's very hard to separate myself, essay the nurse, essay the mom, because I always, a lot of times, I don't really carry essay the mom to work, but I always carry essay the nurse home. I don't know if that makes sense. It's easy for
Yeah.
me to like step out of the house. I'm going to save lives in my head. That's what I tell myself. I'm going to save lives. It's easy for me to just disconnect. The challenge I used to have was disconnecting when I get home. I always brought work home, no matter how much I tried. And I tried meditation, I tried so many things. It was so difficult. I found it very challenging. So that's where that burnout started to come in. The only thing, because I think you're asking me now, is how I've been able to separate those two. The only thing that
Mm-hmm.
has helped me was stepping out of my bubble, my nursing bubble, stepping out and seeing that there are other options out here. We don't have to come and faint in this one profession out of because just because we want to save lives. Some of us came in here, we love nursing, but burnout is real.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be able to separate myself as a nurse and not bring it home was I had to take a step back. I had to analyze there must be another way. And that was how I set up a business that made me it right now it's so easy for me. When I'm in business mode, I'm in business mode. When I'm in nursing mode, I'm in nursing mode. And for some reason, because I'm not burnt out, it's mental. I'm not
Yeah.
burnt out. I don't take essay the nurse person home because it's because when I get home, I'm being a mom and I'm being a strategic business owner. So it's easy for me. I think it's just my mental. I was able to
Yeah.
have that shift because I saw that there's something else out there. We don't have to, it's not that one thing that we needed to focus on. I hope that answered that question.
Yes, that answered that. I'm going to move it a little bit to the fatigue that nurses face.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes the fatigue is might not really be from work, but the fatigue that
Hmm.
comes with when you get home, you have to be there to do your mommy role. Okay.
Yes.
So how has it been balancing 9 shifts, fatigue, motherhood? What do you do to kind of balance things and still be happy and
Um,
smiling and bubbly, I say?
Yes, so it took a while to get here. It took a minute to not a minute. It took a long time to get to this point. But the fatigue, I would say my fatigue came from guilt, mom guilt. I felt like I wasn't giving myself to my kids. I wasn't giving my all to my kids. I was missing out too many milestones. I felt I was doing God's work, yes. But who was doing my kids? Like who was being a mom to my kids? My son just walked by. At least we did something right. They are still here who who was helping our kids deal with our absence. So I think the moment I had that shift and I knew that the guilt was causing fatigue, mental fatigue, the fatigue was causing burnout. As soon as you figure out that there's a way, there's another way, your mind shifts. And for some reason, I don't know why, that fatigue, it's now a case of perspective for me. It's a case of, okay, what are you tired? Are you tired from work or are you tired from just life as a mom? So there are two different kinds of fatigue that I deal with now. It's not, I'm never fatigued from work where I have to come home. I don't know how that happened. I just realized that I'm a different person now because my fatigue is now into perspective.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired from my drive from work, and I'm like, okay, yes, that's a separate fatigue. It has nothing to do with me as a mom now. I think
Mm-hmm.
because the guilt is gone, that's why I'm able to
Yeah. Yeah.
separate.
Yeah,
You
I love that you mentioned Nikki because most times that's what kills, or certainly moms. We
Yes,
think we have to be there for every single thing. We
yes,
think we are had to do everything. You know how we are very particular about, oh, the clothes I want them to wear, oh, the food I want
yes,
them to wear. Like if we are
yes,
not there, there's this whole guilt. I just
yes,
think it's a way of God giving us that security mechanism where we are
yes,
all like, we
yes,
need everybody to be prim, prime, and proper,
yes,
while you still
yes,
do your intentional nursing. And sometimes I
yes,
always tell people that sometimes the stronger people in the family are the most exhausted because they're
yes,
always thinking, like thinking, food, clothes,
yes,
everything thinking.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
so let's move this to nurses as advocates every single day. We find ourselves advocating for even things they're not advocating for. I remember
yes.
as little as crackers being in the in the red in the
And
when
peanut
patients
butter.
can see stuff
Yep.
and eat. We
Yep.
are always advocating for even the menial thing. And we tend to carry that advocacy to
Yes.
everything we do. And that's why when a nurse finds an opportunity, we are loud about it. And we don't even care how you perceive it. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's touch on the nurse being an advocate for safety,
Mhm.
advocacy for patients, advocacy for better care, all
Yes.
around, better, whether in the government sphere, leadership sphere, motherhood sphere. Talk about that for a
Okay.
moment.
So, I want to say this. I hope, I don't know who is listening, but I'll say something in Nigerian English. Advocacy as a nurse, advocacy get grade. Let me explain what I mean by that. As a new nurse, you are so scared to advocate because you feel like you can't rock the boat. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? You are so scared. You have things you want to advocate for, but you are so scared to advocate because I don't want to rock the boat. What if they think I'm stupid? When you become seasoned and you understand that patient care is your number one priority, for some of us, by the time we're done rocking the boat, there's no boat left because because we get so passionate, especially there are people that go into nursing because that's their dream. Some went there for the money. Now, the people that that's their passion, when they start to advocate and start to rock this boat I'm talking about, it's like you see us fighting for, like you said, the littlest thing. Oh, why don't we have
Leaders.
peanut butter? What do you mean by we're cutting costs? We some people will even bring things from home to help with nursing, with with the unit. It depends on how close you are to the unit. So
Mm-hmm.
advocating, I find myself when I'm done advocating at work. Now you're advocating for your patients, you're advocating for your staff, you're advocating for patients' family. When I'm done with that, I will start advocating for my at my kids' school. You see me fighting with the I will start advocating for my kids. Why is there this not this? It's now a habit.
Mm,
So
yeah.
nursing carries across so many fields. Like
Yeah.
even you even find yourself advocating for your spouse or your spouse's friend, some kind thing. You before you know you start to advocate for everything. But what I just want to say is for nurses that are doing it, that are passionate about it, don't worry about rocking any boats. Our number one priority is our patient. Let's advocate so that we can advocate for ourselves. The only thing though is, Sonia, we forget to advocate for ourselves.
That's it.
Advocate for
Yeah.
everybody else, but not ourselves.
Yeah.
That's a work in progress. We'll keep trying.
I always tell people nurses we influence beyond medications, we influence beyond chatting, we influence beyond the system. Okay,
Yep,
a nurse's voice can comfort, it can protect, it can educate, and it can change outcome. And
that's
that's why your voice matter. And
yeah.
the reason why this week is just very phenomenal and very exceptional to us as one celebration, as to a call to a change. So that
Mm,
in as much as we are all deep in about other people, and I don't know whether you found yourself, sometimes people are taking some medication outside of hospital and you're wondering, like, can I see what is,
yes,
we go as far as going out of our way to advocate
yes,
for other people.
yes,
Now,
yes.
find time to advocate yourself.
Mm,
I left you guys yesterday with you cannot pour from an empty cup. That
yep.
way, you need to take a step back to
Mm-hmm.
advocate for your own mental health,
Yes,
your emotional state,
yeah,
your own, body. You need that care. And one thing
yes.
that breaks my heart so much is when you get to palliative care, hospice, you see a lot of
Mm,
nurses, and you're wondering what happened. Like, why do you have to get through this sport? They tend to have
yes.
most chronic and most of these are just for stress. You
Mm,
think too much about other people. Now, I'm going to roll this over as nurses, as entrepreneur and visionaries of the now, because I have, a lot of 20 years nurses of the old, who their own way of doing things were way different. I
yes.
tell people nurses eating their young was then, it's not now.
Mm-hmm.
Because these nurses now are more collaborative, they are
Yes,
more supportive, they are more helpful.
yes.
If you're a new grad, they are there to guide you.
Mm,
Unlike the then when people are looking at hierarchy, title,
yes,
now nurses are visionaries.
yes.
Now nurses are entrepreneurs. Now nurses are not working themselves to hit the rock bottom. The
Mm,
now nurses have time to travel and take care of themselves. The
yes.
now nurses also have time to fill their cups. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now let's go to nurses as entrepreneurs and visionaries in terms of coaching, wellness, all the aesthetic things we do now, because I see a lot
Mm-hmm.
of them on the Botox level. Why do you think, now there are a lot of business owners, just like you and I, the
Yes,
now nurses have things on the side running, even when they are still in there. What
yes.
changed over time? Why do you think we got to this level where we're now taking care of ourselves more? We're
More.
now thinking about ourselves more. We are now being about our awareness, not like we're not giving our all, because sometimes people think, oh, you're supposed to be doing their work 7 days, like just our mother's days and those days. No.
Yes.
But why do you think things have changed in this time where we have time to even breathe and be ourselves outside of the fear of bedside.
Sonia, you know what I want to say that COVID changed a lot of things. COVID just made the whole world stop and reassess and understand that there are other ways to do things than that one way. COVID
Mm-hmm.
made people start doing remote work. There was nothing like work from home. Well, there might have been, but we didn't know what work from home was.
Yeah.
We all thought we had to go and faint at work for us to know that we're doing the Lord's work. You know what I mean? But when COVID came, along with that came massive burnout as
Mm.
well in the profession. So much so that we saw people that were new grads that were so burnt out in a few months, they were leaving the profession.
Yeah.
So that kind of awareness just sometimes it activates some people to start to think of other options. And
Mm-hmm.
then some people are able to go beyond the contemporary, this is how we do things, especially if something triggers that. For some people it's personal, something happens in their personal lives and it just triggers that thing and says, listen, there's something else out there. If you want this for yourself, you have to think about it this way.
Yeah.
So having that shift, some nurses are still in that field of 20 Florence Nightingale time
Mm.
where they are still, but then some people have shifted with nursing has evolved. Some
Yeah.
people have shifted with that evolution. That's why you see us in our fig scrub, our jumpsuit. We're going with the times, and we're beginning to understand that it is okay to fill your cup. It is,
Mm-hmm.
as a matter, it is necessary for you to
Mm-hmm.
fill your cup. Nursing back in the day, you do everything, you don't give yourself any time for. Now, self care is important, whatever that looks like. Some people, you see them with their Botox, they're looking beautiful. They've had a long shift, but the wrinkles will not allow you know that. Self care, there's no wrinkles to see if they are struggling or not. And I always advocate for that because whatever your self care looks like, whatever your self moment looks like, you go with it. Who are we to even judge? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I
Yeah.
think times have changed, especially with the start of COVID. It now made us understand that there's more out there. We can serve people and do God's work
Yeah.
remotely in addition to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing I wanted to say was also inflation made us understand that we cannot rely on this one source of income because before nursing used to be enough
Mm.
to run whatever lifestyle you want to
You
have.
want. Yeah.
But now with inflation is not accounting, like our salaries and all of that is not accounting for inflation. So we've had to evolve and have multiple streams of income in order to make ends meet for some
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where we. Do you know? I can't remember the question.
Don't worry, you're in line with the question. It's
Okay.
not about self-care, right? Wellness, why the
Yes.
transition has changed and
Yes.
why it's now is
Yes. It
different
is
from the old.
okay for us to fill our cups. Otherwise, we are burnt out and we're nowhere to be found. So it is self care. We've changed our mentality. For some of us, we've evolved and we're keeping it moving. And we'll
Mm-hmm.
be praying for
Mm-hmm.
people that are still stuck. We'll pray for them.
I always say many nurses struggle silently with exhaustion,
Yes.
anxiety as well, identity loss,
Yes.
work-life imbalance, I will always say. But the
Yes.
reminder is rest is not laziness.
Yes.
Boundaries are necessary, not selfish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, our identity beyond our profession, being a nurse is part of who you are, not all of who you are. Okay.
Mhm.
And I always share this that your worth is not tied to only productivity shifts
Mhm.
over time. Okay.
Mm.
You deserve joy. You
Yeah.
deserve creativity. You deserve to do things that will authentically bring out the purpose of who you are
Yeah.
outside of healthcare. Okay.
Yes.
And that is why we always advocate for you to have something on the side,
Yes.
especially if you're in a part of the country, let's say like Canada, you do 2 days and 2 nights, the 3 days remaining, if you can use that for self-care, if you
Yes.
can, because I know a lot of people are dealing with a lot of bills here and there, and they can't afford to take those 3 days off. If you're
Yes.
in part of the US where 3 days is your own 36 hours, you have 4 days, if you can, okay, take that time to care for yourself, Be present authentically for your kids, for your household,
Mhm.
anyone you need to visit. You need to go have a massage, take care of yourself if you can. Like I mentioned, a lot of people have a lot of things they are shouldering. They can only afford 2 days of rest in a week or even
Yes.
one, but
Yes.
that is even okay. But make out time for you. Do
Yes.
not neglect you, okay? Because you're a whole person before you became.
Mhm.
All right?
That's right.
It
That's right.
robs life.
Yes.
Scrubs are what you wear, not your entire identity. So
Yes.
learn to actually take a step back for yourself. Healing others should not cost you your own self.
That's right. That's right.
And today, like I always tell you guys, as a healthcare worker, even if you're a student, if you are a doctor, nurse, whatever, and you come to the point where you're thinking, what else can I do on the side? Like Asa mentioned, post-COVID has changed everything
Mm-hmm.
evaluate our life. It made us realize we can be any at one point and we are global even at the same time. Like most of you watching me now, either from YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, you might not even be in the country or where I am, but you
Yes.
can see and listen to me. That is how life has transitioned. So
Yep.
today, as we summarize, you can own something on the side as a nurse. So I'm going to throw you that essay, okay? So now, how can a nurse who have been sitting down maybe on a night shift, because those are the days where we sit and think about our life, where
Yes.
to be, what is the trajectory, reality check sets in, I
Yes.
don't know what to do. How can a nurse who is looking for something legitimate, something they can transfer to their kids, something they can work long term, something that is sustainable, something they can do even while doing nothing, looking for something to do, what can they do and how can they transition? You can give us pointers to things or skills they can learn as well that
Mm-hmm.
can also help, and also transferable skills that we have as nurses that we can transfer to other things that we can create or own
Mm.
as a nurse.
Okay. I think the first thing, before we can even talk about you being able to start your own business, or I think the first thing is having a mind shift. If your mind is not shifted, if you're not open to change, you would never, we'll be talking to our blue in the face. They would never make any move. Everybody has to be aware that there's something else out there. So the first thing is shift your mind. Shift your mind. There's so many things out there. Not everything online is a scam. So which brings me to the next point is do your research, guys. Sometimes it's very easy for us to stay in our comfort zone. You're like, I'm getting shifts. So what else do I need? I don't know if this is real. There are so many things out there. Just do your research. Find out the ones that are legitimate, and you will find the ones that are legitimate if you really open your mind to it. How do you even know some of them is legitimate? You click on, if you see an ad or you see a video like this, like a live stream like this, you go, you click on their pages, you follow. People that are scammers will not have pages that are like 3 years old or
Mhm.
1 year old. Scammers will have, that's just one point I'm making up.
Yeah.
Scammers will have like a week old, close that page, open the next one, close that page, open the next one. So be open to see that there's so many things going on online. You should not limit yourself to, oh, I'm just picking up the shift. Because if anything was to happen to us at work, that's it. Because for some nurses, we've built our identities our whole life as nurses. But you can be a nurse and still have your business on the side,
Mm.
multiple streams of income. So you do not have to have. One thing I knew was I thought I needed technical experience for us to be in the online space. Guys, that is why you follow Who Know Road. Follow the footprints of success. You do not have to have technical experience to be on there. You do not have to have any business experience to have this to own this business that we have, because this business is a system. It's a complete package, one-stop shop. It gives you training. It gives you mentorship. You guys see Sonia that you're seeing here. I didn't know her from anywhere. She became my coach all of a sudden, and now we've built this bond. I know she's busy, so I don't bother her too much. But that's the kind of mentorship and coaching and community that we have, where no matter how stuck you are, you can
Mhm.
reach out to somebody like Sonia and she's going to guide you. Because at the end of the day, it is not a multi-level marketing thing. It's when you get to the training, you understand what I mean. But what I'm trying to say is if one grows, everybody grows.
Mhm.
Like if you're in a good space, like if you mean to grow your business, if you want your business to succeed, community matters.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of platforms we're talking about. So have a mind shift, do your due diligence, do your research, be open to change. Not everything is a scam. And then look for signs of fraud. If you see that there are no signs, don't let your brain or your fear activate you into not doing what you should do. Because people always say, what if it doesn't work? What if it works? What if it works? I remember when I did this last year, I knew about the business before, but I wasn't ready for it. When life wants to happen to you, it will teach you that at some point you should. When something happens to you, before you know it, you're automatically ready.
Yeah.
That's just how life is. So
Yeah.
do your due diligence, do your research, be open to change. And guys, nothing good comes easy. You have to put in the work. It is not automatic. Anybody that tells you it's very easy, just join, it's easy. They are lying to you. Run. You need to
Mm-hmm.
put in the work because it's your business. Sonia is not going to grow my business for me. I'm not going to grow her business for her. We support each other, and that's as far as it goes. You need to put in the work for your business to succeed. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you find that some people don't put in the work and then they start coming to platforms like this and saying, that's how all you scammers are. You guys don't. But meanwhile, people are making money, building legacies for their kids because they put in the work. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
Thank you,
did I
dearie. So
answer the question?
today,
Yeah.
yes, you did. Yes.
Okay.
So this week, like I mentioned, is just a way for us to sensitize you to rediscover yourself
Mhm.
outside of scrub. Okay,
Yes.
normalize your own ambition beyond nursing, beyond bedside, beyond community, beyond whatever aspect of nursing you're doing. Okay, remember it's okay to evolve. It's okay to
Yes.
dream big. It's okay to prioritize yourself too,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, nursing is our profession, but it's not the only thing that defines us.
That's
Okay.
right.
So we need to actually learn to, do nothing beyond what nothing is and also grow your own ambition as a person. If you've
Yes.
loved to own, real estate, go for it. If you love
Mhm.
to manage and invest in other things, please go for it. I am an advocate for nurses to please always invest, not just, oh, I'm seeing the money. Always look where you want to own long time so that you're
Yes.
not just there because the days you're burn out, no pay. And you know that
Yes.
our
Yes.
things is you work, you get paid. You don't just get paid just by, being home and saying you're tired. So look beyond what you have seen and we are here to support you anytime. Okay. And like I
Mhm.
told you guys, we're gonna do this all through this week to honor us nurses and you guys who are coming new into the profession. We are here
Yes.
to educate, we are here to time you. And at the last day, like I mentioned, we're going to have maybe a professor who is going to guide new nurses if you have questions, especially in the sphere. She's in New York, in the sphere of the US realm, where I can
Mhm.
also talk about the Canadian system or a bit of all that because I did my nursing in Canada. So we're going to help you kind of the route, the plan, or whatever way you can cut costs in doing your nursing. And the goal is that we have a lot of you on this profession. We don't gatekeep, okay, guys?
Yes.
Share this so that every one of us will benefit and also grow in a system that thrive by us helping you and helping ourselves. All right. I hope you have a swell time, and I hope this evening we're able to give you one or two nuggets so that you can
Yes.
dream beyond yourself. Okay, because we nurses are more than just scrubs.
That's
All
right.
right. Have a blessed and amazing evening until we come your way tomorrow again. God bless you guys. Have a great
Bye.
evening, everyone.
Bye.